Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to be taking a look at a new Solgaleo. You see, just a couple of days ago, I showed you a new Lunala. Might have even been yesterday, actually. And I told you that this new Lunala, if you had a Solgaleo in play, allowed you to search your deck for 2 basic energy and attach them to your Solgaleo and Lunala in any way that you like. Cool. So that kind of showed us that we were going to be getting a new Solgaleo. We kind of had to get a new Solgaleo, because otherwise that'd be super weird. I mean, we do have the Solgaleo from Celestial Storm, which is still legal, but even so. So we figured we were getting a new Solgaleo. We are getting a new Solgaleo. Props to the lovely Antoine Boulet for being the lovely person who has given us our translation over on Twitter. And if we start off having a little bit of a look at the basics, we've got 170 HP, which is high, ladies and gentlemen. Even higher than the Lunala I just showed you. Now, to be fair, it's even higher than the Solgaleo from Celestial Storm that had 160. Or the Solgaleo from Guardians Rising that had 150. This is a large amount of HP. And it's got a resistance to Psychic, and with Mewtwo and Mew running around, that's a really nice resistance to have. And that concludes the good bit of the basics. Because it's got a retreat cost of 3, which is high enough to be annoying, but not high enough to use Pokemaniac to search it out, or buff padding to give it extra HP. And it's got a weakness to fire. And with Welder running around, we've got decks like Reshiram and Charizard and Blacephalon, which are 2 of the very best decks in the format. Even Mewtwo and Mew decks use Welder and therefore run fire Pokemon. This is an absolutely atrocious time in the Pokemon trading card game to have a weakness to fire. And this has a weakness to fire. So it better be pretty gosh darn good. To be fair, being a metal Pokemon does mean you're hitting a decent weakness. We see that Gardevoir and Sylveon is seeing quite a lot of play at the moment, which is kind of cool. So that helps. And to be fair, you can take away the weakness using Metal Frying Pan, which is quite nice. And we got other ways, and that does reduce damage done to you by 30. And you can also do that using stuff like Metal Goggles, or reduce it even more using Metal Core Barrier. But it's getting a bit awkward. What I will say is, if you do use Metal Frying Pan to take away your weakness, they're going to have to play like Lysander Labs to get rid of it, or at least turn it off. And that's something that Fire decks generally aren't doing. So with that borne in mind, what does it do? Well, the ability Armor of the Sun. If you have Lunala in play, your Solgaleo and Lunala take 50 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon's attacks. You cannot get more than one of these, or you cannot apply more than one of these in a turn. So it is limited to reducing it by 50. And that's not particularly new at the moment. We saw that the Incineroar from Unbroken Bonds was really, really good, but very specifically did not stack. Similarly, we saw that the Levani from Unified Minds has a very similar thing. It reduces damage done by 40 to grass Pokemon, but you cannot apply more than one Blanket Weaver ability at a time. You cannot just play, say, 4 of these and mean that your Pokemon take 200 less damage. It would be kind of hilarious if you could, but you can't. So now we're back in that same situation of, alright, is it worth it? Because we're in a format at the moment, right, where searching out Pokemon is very difficult. To be fair, with Lunala, we at least do have Mysterious Treasure. And the thing is that even though Solgaleo is a metal type, your Cosmog and Cosmoem are psychic type, which means that you will largely be able to use that. And we do have 60 HP Cosmog, which means that you can search them out. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be the easiest thing ever, because I don't think it is, but it is possible. In fact, to be fair, we do actually have a 50 HP Cosmog, but it's the one from Team Up with Cosmic Guard, prevents all damage done to it when it's on the bench, which is actually pretty gosh darn good. So that's alright. That's fine. We can use Professor Realm's Lecture in the early game. And we can use Mysterious Treasure to get Cosmoem or to get your other Cosmog and to get your Lunala. So, honestly, compared to the majority of decks out there, you do have better options for searching out your Pokemon. I'm not saying good options, because I don't think you do have good options. But I do think you have better options than your average deck. That is about the most I'm willing to say here. It's all right. Something like Garchomp. I adore the Garchomp from Unified Minds. I absolutely do. It is one of my favourite cards that has been released in a very long time. But the reality is, it is a non-GX fighting Pokemon. Which means we don't have any special ways to search it out. And being a non-GX, you can't use Cherish Ball. And it's just a really difficult Pokemon to search. I love that the combination of Mysterious Treasure and Professor Realm's Lecture will get you everything but Solgaleo, and then hopefully you can find Solgaleo, I don't know, maybe even just using a Pokemon communication. But I'm sitting here talking about how you can get it set up, and you can. Really, to get this working, you need a Solgaleo and a Lunala. And if you can get a Solgaleo and a Lunala out, you've got a Pokemon with 170 HP that's taking 50 less damage from attacks, accelerating energy with Lunala. That's pretty gosh darn good. But that's a lot to ask for. Now let's say for a moment you do get it out. Let's have a look at the attack. 2 metal, 2 colorless energy, 180, discard 2 energy cards from this Pokemon. Or 2 energy, not 2 energy cards, just 2 energy. And that's actually pretty good. I'm kind of loving this. Because the thing is, we've got plenty of ways to get the energy. You can play the second Solgaleo GX, which is actually really nice for accelerating energy, and it has the same evolution line, so it's going to be easier to get it rolling. You've got Solgaleo Prism Star, who can accelerate energy quite nicely here. We've got Lunala, which is possibly your best option. And you don't have to have Lunala out to use this attack. You can even use triple acceleration energy. As soon as you've got 2 metal energy on here, you can use triple acceleration energy. So you can basically use Solgaleo in the early game, the Prism Star, and then when this is up and rolling, just attach triple acceleration energy and go. And I do like that a lot. You don't need Lunala. Lunala really needs Solgaleo. Solgaleo doesn't need Lunala. Solgaleo's also got a much better attack. The new Lunala does like 130 for free energy. It's fine if you're hitting for weakness, and it's fine against non-GXs, but it's not a particularly good attack. This does 180. 180's nice. 180 will get your weak GXs, ones along the lines of your Jirachi and your Dedenne, while also getting some of the slightly stronger ones, like, for instance, Blacephalon. And okay, it's not going to get Ultra Necrozma, but you're only 10 damage away, so there's nothing to stop you playing like Shrine of Punishment here to just get that extra 20 damage and get rolling. That will work quite nicely. And you can maybe even parlay that and just keep it going for a couple of turns and do even more. That will work. If you're using Psychic Pokemon and your pre-evolution to Psychic, you can use Spell Tag to drop a bit of damage in the early game if your opponent takes an early KO. There's a lot to like about this. I don't love that you're 2-hit KOing bigger GXs and tag teams. Now, you are giving up 1 prize while they're giving up 2 or 3, but you're also a stage 2 while they're largely basics or stage 1s, which means they're going to be a bit faster and more efficient, but you're winning the prize race if you can keep going. And like I've said, with stuff like Gardevoir and Sylveon, there are relevant Pokemon around at the moment that are weak to you, and non-GXs will be going down. So you're getting non-GXs, you're getting some GXs, you're getting some stuff that's weak, and your weakness is terrible, but you can use Metal Frying Pan. And if you use Metal Frying Pan and get Lunala out, you've basically got 170 HP, you're taking 80 less from each attack, and you're hitting 180. If you can get Solgaleo and Lunala out, I think this is a phenomenal deck, but I don't know if we're in the format where you can get it rolling. I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. I think this is oozing potential. But I also think that this is an extremely awkward card that really needs another awkward card to get rolling. It's easier getting 2 stage 2s in play if they're running off the same evolution line. Just ask Gardevoir and Gallade. But I do think this could be awkward. But I'd like to know if you think you can get it working, ladies and gentlemen, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.